Welcome to Leon's Chainsaw Parts and Repair. Obviously this 721 is not running right, but it is at least running. So that's a good start. Caitlin, you back off for a second, okay? Thank you. This is another one that Chantz picked up. Just kind of got into it a little bit. The carburetor needed work. Needed a fuel line, and that's all been taken care of. You can see the nice new Tygon here, but we've still got some lingering issues with this saw. They're going to require it to have some decent amount of teardown. When I had the carburetor off, I noted a bunch of scaly corrosion down just behind the reed valve on the intake there. So water's gotten into this system at some point, so way up behind the reed valve up in there at the base of the crankcase, there was a bunch of kind of crusty corrosion, kind of like this stuff here that I scraped out and cleaned out. Got all the loose stuff out because obviously I don't want to run it and suck all that up into the engine. The good news is that hasn't happened. This thing has about 160 pounds of compression cold. Pretty impressive if you ask me. You can see some oil. I think that's from testing the manual oiler at different times. Could be some gear oil in there. It doesn't really smell like gear oil, but the other issue that this guy is facing here is this spot is a corrosion hole. It's hard to tell by the camera, but let's see if we got enough light to see the fuel come weeping out. There we go. You can see the trail right down through there, and it's wet all the way up. So the manual shows that these are serviceable. So in theory the tank could come off, be split, cleaned up, resealed, clean all the gobbledygook out of it, then put it back together, and this would be one that I would think be a good candidate for some red coat. But beyond that, I don't know if the cylinder cover came with the saw or not, but that's another reason I don't want to run it a terrible amount right now, as I can feel the heat coming off of this from the little bit of test running I did. Without that cover in place, your flywheel can't cool this nearly as effectively. So anyhow, it's a pretty neat old saw. I think that's a half-pitch sprocket hiding back there. You can see the muffler still has its proper element with the screen on it there, which is kind of hard to come by these days. It is missing the starter rope cover, which is part of why I was fighting with it. It's so easy to lose a loop of this tension on the rewind. So anyway, I'm Chance. I'm going to get a hold of you and see if you want me to go any further with this saw or send it back.